Welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're doing these. Hi, welcome back to another Derek Does. I'm Derek, and if you're new here, please subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. If you got questions later on, put them down in the comment section, and I will answer them, or somebody who's watching this, maybe is more knowledgeable, will answer them also. But today, we are going to be doing these. What are these, you ask? Well, officially, and I should read this because it's a long name, these are Trousers Camouflage Cotton WR Poplin Contract number 7385 100% cotton, and these are in the EDRL Camouflage. I found this pair, and we'll go into great detail of these. I'll put them on a hanger so you can see all the close-ups of everything like that. As usual, I found these in the thrift store. I don't know what's been going on but a couple weeks ago I found that 1967 first generation boonie hat, which was like practically unworn, and I just found this pair of trousers, combat trousers, that do not look worn or washed ever. This is basically, as far as I know, the first generation of camouflage. I'm not going to say battle dress uniform because that didn't come out yet, but these are combat trousers, and they are in the EDRL camouflage, also known as the leaf pattern, which was originally invented for the Army in 1948, but was never used until the beginning of the Vietnam War, which is about 66, I think, is when these were first done, or 67, in that range. This pair, and again, I'll show you the close-ups of the tag and everything, are not marked with a manufacturer or a date, but they are with a contract number, which you can get that from us. I believe this is the first generation for sure. This isn't a second generation or a third. This pattern was used up till probably like the 73 area, and I think then the Marines then picked it up again later, and then in the early 80s, the camouflage that we're used to, or at least I am, is the woodland camouflage came out, and it looks different than this, because when I saw these in the thrift store I thought, oh, what's that? It's like a knockoff pair of BDUs, but it wasn't, because I saw the tag in there and I said, well, that looks like it's a military. And then sure enough, as you discover more and fall into the rabbit hole of vintage military clothing, it is. They're like a BDU, they really are, except there's a lot of different little fixes, I guess, from what I'm used to is like the 80s BDUs and on. These are different. There's a lot of, and I'll show you all that. There's a lot of the same and a lot of the different. But they're really cool. This pair is, and actually this is a large regular, which is like unheard of to find a large size. Normally whenever I find old pants or jackets or anything like that, they're always tiny sizes. They're extra small or small. Maybe you find a medium, but these are a large. So these are actually too large for me, I believe. But I will still put these on, and I'll show you what they look like on, so you can kind of see that. And then we'll put them on the hanger, and I'll show you all the details of them, because there are a lot of different details than what you're used to. Unless you're used to this, then it's same old, same old. And that is it for now. Let's take a look at what these pants look like on. Again, I'm a 32, 33 waist kind of, and I'm about 155, about 5'10", so you can kind of see what a large regular, if you are looking for a pair like this, or you found a pair like this might help, size-wise. So let's see how they look on. All right, so here they are. Unfortunately, there's a lot of room in these pants, so I'm gonna have to hold them up, but you can see what they look like, or maybe I can just pull them tighter so you can kind of see. They're big. All right, so here they are. They look like a normal BDU, but they're not. One, the pattern. It's just a pattern you don't see anymore. You're probably used to woodland. This is not woodland, obviously. It's different. The material itself is, again, it's never been washed, so it's real smooth. almost like a bed sheet, like a thicker bed sheet, I guess you might. No, it's actually like a bed sheet. This particular pair has button fly, which is standard on your BDUs, but this has, I think, more buttons. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the other ones just have 4, don't they? I could be wrong though. These are the major big differences. One, if you notice, it has actual drawstrings instead of that ribbon. Also, you can tell this has never been washed because it still has all its factory extra threads sticking out. You know, obviously they were just making these fast and furious and just kicked them out, and they don't bother cutting off the threads. The moment you wash that, these threads would become frayed and you'd be able to tell they were washed. So it has two not hand warmer pockets, but just slash pockets on the front like a normal one. And then on the back side, we have 2 button back pockets. That's pretty standard. Here you can actually still see the paper tag that was sewn onto this. This is probably an inspection tag at one time. And it goes up and down. Now you do have your 2 cargo pockets like you do on a normal BDU, but they're different, and I'll show you those details. But before I do that, if you notice, the back belt loop is offset. Normally it's set on the seam here on the back yoke, but it's offset. And I've only really seen that on Levi's made in Texas. That's how you can always tell a Texas pair of made Levi's is they always put it this side. And the reason they do that is to help the bar tacker, which is the machine that does this stitch. So it doesn't have to go over, because this is already going to be 4 layers of material, plus you have another 4 layers of material. But if you don't have to go over this extra seam and it's just over this, it saves the machine just a little bit. So that's, I don't know if they're made in Texas. There's a lot of jean stuff on this particular pair. Now it also has the standard, you know, the black parkinized drawstrings to get the waist just right. That still is the same. Now let's look at the cargos. So now we're on the side view. You can see these clearer. You can see it still has a ton of this extra threads. Now here's where it's a little different. Notice that the cargo pockets are much thicker on the back than they are in the front. Now it's 2 buttons, just like a normal BDU. Although this is staggered this way, and this way. That is different. Normally it was just folded and it was this side and this side on a modern BDU. But here you can see it's this way, and this way. Also, these are sewn solid. So this flap doesn't open up all the way. Now here's the huge thing that I discovered. I did not know. There was another pocket inside the pocket. So this has another pocket, pretty big, that you could put something in, close it up, put this on, close it up. Very important stuff would be there that you would not want to get lost. They don't make that style anymore. On the other side, same setup, overlap, 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 sewn solid, but no pocket inside this one. This one's just a big pocket. So there's not 2 pockets on that one. So that was kind of neat. That was kind of different than what I'd seen. Now let's look on the inside. So one big thing I notice is the construction of this fly cover here. Notice it's like a pair of jeans. It's curved and sewn on. I believe the new ones, those are actually just all, it's solid like this. There is no extra little curve there, but they still did that, and I think that is just an old style of manufacture, particularly maybe from a jean manufacturer. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. Here is the tag. Again, never been washed. Large regular. There you can see the DSA number, which actually doesn't, I assume that's a DSA, but doesn't say. And then on the inside, over here you have, pull that out, the care tag and the actual brand. Now there is no manufacturer and there is no date on these. Again, I'm thinking these are 1966, late 66, 67, early 67, before they started manufacturing. It also doesn't say jungle anywhere on that. And I believe these are the same. They just didn't say that back then. That's the only tags I saw on this pair. My phone, for some reason, always tries to go out of focus, but it's a really cool pair of pants. Really big. Obviously, they won't fit me, as you saw, but they might fit somebody. And they've never been washed. So this is a over, was it like 55-year-old pair of pants, 60-year-old pair of pants, I guess. Pretty cool. Well, I hope you enjoyed the episode of the Trousers Camouflage Cotton WR Poplin pants in EDRL. They're really cool. I will actually probably be putting these up for sale. I'll put them on my eBay along with tons of other stuff. Maybe you've seen on previous episodes, and just stuff I pick up that I don't do an episode on just because it's cool stuff. I used to have a website where I would sell stuff, but it just wasn't worth it to keep it going and all that stuff. It's just easier to put on eBay, and that way I can do international shipping also. So if you are international and you want this pair, you can buy it through eBay, and they have a international buying program that I just ship it to a hub, and then they ship it out to you. And I've done that a lot with various things, not just military stuff, but other things too. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.